global agricultural market is valued right now at $14 billion. By 2028, it's going to be $19 billion. It is an industry that is growing very quickly because you can imagine the demand for food is increasing. My guest today is Cheryl Bates. She is an audience growth and engagement manager. She's going to explain to us why we have to always be evolving and changing our marketing. We can't be just doing what we did 10 years ago. We have to evolve in order for our marketing to be more responsive. My name is Donna Peterson, and you're listening to the B2B Marketing Excellence Podcast. I go all over the world to talk to marketing managers, audience development managers, owners, leaders about their specific industry and what marketing is working, what is not, so that you can succeed faster with quality marketing initiatives. So let's jump in. Hi, Cheryl. How are you today?
Hi, Donna. I'm doing great.
I wanted to talk to you today because one, like I mentioned to you before, I'm passionate about the space, food, healthy eating, farming, but also you and I met at the OMIDA conference where we started to talk about audience development and growth. And I thought, oh, her and I could continue this conversation on the B2B Marketing Excellence Podcast.
Yes, that was such a great conversation that we had at OX.
Yes. And that brings me, so at the show, different publishers get up and they start to talk. Why do you believe it is so crucial that people regularly review and evolve their marketing initiatives, especially in this agricultural space?
Yes, as you well know, the agriculture industry is constantly evolving. You need to stay on top of the latest technology trends, consumer preferences, and regulations. It's very important to stay on top of all of that and understand what is happening, and then to provide that content for our readers. What's going on right now, sustainability and labor.
Yes.
Labor is a huge issue right now.
Yep.
And so we tap into that, and our editors are constantly interviewing not just our readers, but leading suppliers and our advertisers to make sure that the information that we are gathering is accurate and to the point. So when our readers read it, they understand what they need to do and help build their operations. So
you have to offer content that kind of answers what they're thinking or the challenges that they're having. Like you said, sustainability, the carbon footprint, those are such hot topics right now because 80% of the consumers want to work with or buy from brands who are taking that into account.
Correct. Yes. And same thing with labor. Labor is just so difficult to find with all of these regulations that are constantly changing. They want to know, where can they get the labor? So it's very important to stay on top of all of that.
Are you seeing more equipment coming on with AI incorporated in it that's going to help with maybe the labor shortages, where because it has AI in it, you won't need as many people to man a machine or something along those lines?
Yeah, so the technology is constantly evolving. Like, for instance, there's new machines out there that are laser targeting weeds, and which is very interesting. So this machine will go out there and will basically zap those weeds or pests without harming the plant.
Oh,
it's really, truly amazing. Providing that information to our readers is, maybe they would be interested in this, in providing that technology.
Versus getting manpower to get out there into the farms and weed.
Yes. Where you need to hire several hands just to do that, when you just need one machine to take care of it for you. Or even harvesting apples. You have these robots that are out there gently just pulling those apples right off the trees. So it's, the technology can really help agriculture in so many ways. But that even changes.
And that's why with these different products and services coming on the market, your marketing has to change
Yes.
Because one, yes, your messaging obviously will change, but also maybe how you deliver it or where you deliver it would change based on the individual or the farmers.
Exactly, because the demographic for a lot of farmers tend to skew older, and they still that paper printed copy in their hands to look at things. And we understand that, but we are seeing a trend with the younger generation that want to engage more, whether on social media or they like reading the digital magazine instead of the paper because they don't want to have this paper sitting on their table or something. So we're trying to do as much as we can to provide the content where the reader is
Mm.
in multiple formats, whether it's a video or even a podcast or thinking like what we're doing here with social media as well. That's such a totally different content generation there because you want to have more conversation
Yes.
rather than, okay, I'm just going to put a link to my article. No, you need to have that conversation. And what we find is that when you have those conversations, you might just touch on a brand new topic that you
Mhm.
need to do research on that growers are doing or they're doing differently. It's okay, let's talk about this and let's build some content around that. It's
You
very
see
important.
what's top of mind, and that's when you start to realize what type of content you should be creating.
Exactly.
And like you touched upon, I saw something recently where they said on average, they're usually 55 or older. I've seen this with a lot of manufacturers. You need to find a spark to let them see that farming is fun. Not everyone should be in finance.
Yes,
Some of us
exactly.
can go to farming. And you got me hooked on the Peterson brothers. They have a YouTube channel and they're doing exactly that. They're putting songs to it and they're showing about farming and the equipment. But that is what a lot of brands need to do.
Yes, they need to bring this younger generation in to help keep the industry going.
Yes.
And like you said, the Peterson farms, they were just brilliant in bringing farming to life, so
Yes.
to speak. And absolutely love what they do. Some of the things that we do as far as publishing side of things is we have what we call 40 under 40. So
Mhm.
we highlight 40 individuals who are under 40 in agriculture or in the greenhouse space. It's really the amount of entries that we get, first off, is substantial, which just gives me hope that the younger generation is really coming
Yes.
through and interested in all of this. But we want to celebrate that and we want to highlight that. And that's why we make it a point to promote it year round in most of our publications that do that. Younger generation, you have to stay on top of that and you have to make sure that you are bringing that content directly to where they are at.
Which could be different than that older market who would
Okay.
like maybe just the print. The younger generation does like that more interactive, entertaining type video thing that they're doing. And it's so right. Bring them the content that they want, the way they want to receive it
Yes.
is the way to really attract those audiences and grow your subscriber base.
Correct. Yes. We're seeing as we're changing different tactics on some of our campaigns, we're noticing that subscriptions are increasing, which is, yes,
Nice.
that just makes us feel good about our efforts. It's a
Yeah.
long process, as we all know about when you're trying to build your subscriber base, but also keeping your subscribers. So those
Yeah.
retention rates, we want to make sure that, okay, they like the content and they want to continue on with it on a monthly or annual basis. And we want them to resubscribe. That's also very important for us.
Offering them value, because a lot of the publishers I work with, you don't want to just get subscribers and have them all leave, because otherwise every year you're starting with the same thing where you want to try to create a nice, nurturing environment, community, offering value that keeps them with you year after year.
I think you really hit the nail on the head there as far as building that community. You want your subscribers to think that they're part of a family, a community, and to provide that kind of content to keep them engaged is very important for all of that. So the community, I completely agree with. It's very important for that.
Yeah. And as a subscriber, you want to keep them engaged, because when they're engaged, that's when they're like, oh, they're the publication I need to be reading because they're going to give me the answers I need. And when you create that community where they can all talk, they feel like they're being valued because you're listening to them, and you
Mhm.
might hear something. I'm sure your editors hear something in the conversation like, okay, we need to talk about this. This is really
Yes.
top of mind.
Yes, and that's one of the things that I feel is very important is communication.
Mhm.
And our editors, they're the ones that are out there talking with a variety of individuals to create the content. So they have all of the interviews and they've got their ears to everything. And so does our sales team. They are talking to suppliers and different advertisers. And when the editors hear something, they're bringing it to the whole company.
Right.
Because once we are all informed, then that can provide a good foundation
Yes.
for our designers. So
Mhm.
they know what the design needs to look like, marketing team, so they can help with the editors create new types of content and how to disseminate that across multiple platforms. And then also with the sales team so that they know, okay, I just talked to X, Y, and Z operation. I think that this XYZ supplier should be a good fit for them, and maybe we need to bring them together, or let's figure out sponsorships around that or things like that. So communication, I feel, is very important in any company and in any job, because not one person can do it all, can
No.
have all that information.
Yeah. And that's a very good point, communication, because I feel when everyone in the company and all the different departments are aware of what is being talked about, that's when you can create those really nice cohesive approaches, not that editorial prints an article here, stands out here all by itself. Sales now is going to send an email out here, but it stands all by itself. Marketing is going to, where if you all get together, you know what's being said, each one of them kind of complement each other. And
Yes.
I think of it as a puzzle. It can be a
Mhm.
puzzle or even building blocks to build a stronger building, because now all these pieces are coming together and
Correct.
working.
Yes, yes, I completely agree with you 100%. I just feel having that communication, however you communicate, whether it's team meeting once
Mhm.
a week or you have Slack messages going back and forth. Hey, I just read this great article, or I just did a great interview, and they share it. It's just so important.
Yeah, because just like your editorial needs to stay current and evolving based on what's happening in the industry, so do your own marketing messages as you're trying to get new subscribers. You need to
Mhm.
maybe say those hot topics: sustainability, carbon footprint, whether you talk about drones being used or
Yeah.
whatever it is, you need to bring those topics in, and then it would parlay into the editorial piece, which, like I said, then they just complement and work together.
Yes, I agree.
So,
Yes.
can you share with us some examples that maybe you've done of different marketing strategies that have helped your brand stand out and maybe attract new subscribers?
Wow. We have a lot of examples.
Well, you have several different publications too.
Yes, yes. I think we have 13 different publications, and it's not just agriculture. We have sports and we also have retail industry. Each brand is so unique, and the tactics, the strategies that we use around them vary based on what our audience wants.
Yeah.
Some of the things that we have been playing around with, mainly on social media, to help increase our social media followers, is creating like Motivation Mondays or Flower Fridays to show those things. And a lot of them is just pretty pictures. Motivation Monday is just a nice quote with a nice, pretty picture. Maybe it won't say anything in the content, but people really love that. They're like,
Yes.
yes, they like that, or they'll comment on it. So as far as the social media side of things, we're toying with different pieces of content and trying to create those conversations with our followers. And our followers are actually increasing tremendously throughout all of our brands. I know that those campaigns are working very well. Another thing that we have been doing at least the past couple of years is our digital guides. Some of our all of our magazines are also digital magazines, but some of our publications are digital only.
Okay.
And on the sports side, we have our editor does video interviews like what we're doing here. And he will put that into the magazine, the digital magazine. And we get so much rave reviews on that because they stay on the content far longer than just reading an article. And so they'll get the digital magazine and they'll click on the video and it's wow, you can watch the whole interview right there in the magazine, and we can track all of that. That helps us know that these campaigns are working and doing great. Doing more of our exclusive reports. We'll send out surveys or we'll have interviews and we'll turn it into exclusive downloadable Legion reports. And those have been doing great, not just from an audience engagement, but also subscription as well. We always ask that question, would you like to subscribe to Fruit Growers newsletters? And about 98% of them always say yes.
Yeah.
And these are new subscribers that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the ones that are already subscribers. Right. 98% of new subscribers that come in.
Those research reports must be offering a lot of value that they need for their own businesses. Because I know as a brand, when you look at those research reports, it does give you ideas of what you need to be doing, what your business should be doing so you can succeed.
Yes, exactly. And we try a variety of things. Some things just don't work as to be expected in marketing. Some things work, some things don't.
Marketing's all about testing. I tell people marketing is not that sprint where you go out and you do one email blast and you get all the sales you need for the year. It's not like that, but it's more of a marathon, slow and steady.
Exactly. But some of the other things, other examples, I talked about social media and our digital guides. I keep track of like our referral traffic. Where's our traffic coming from? If we need to fine tune some things, maybe Google's down the list, maybe our search is not doing well, so we need to up the ante on our SEO. So it's the little things like that we'll tweak, but we're constantly monitoring a variety of things in order to fine tune our initiatives throughout the year.
And that's always good because I find even if you did this a year ago, and I'll even tell clients, look at this quarterly because economies changed, industries change, what's going on in the world. Marketing is always evolving at warp speed.
I know.
But with all those changes, you do have to sit down and look at those results on a quarterly basis. Maybe we need to tweak it. Maybe we need to put more dollars towards the SEO. Maybe we need to do more external emails, whatever it might be. Just by analyzing it, you figure it out.
Exactly. And analyzing it on a regularly basis. You can't just push something out and then, a month down the road. No, you need to be checking it like on a day-to-day basis.
I do some multiple email blasts for my clients, and we'll look at the first one just to see how the results came in. Even though I will tell anyone, those open and click rates, they're just a baseline. I don't use them as the end all of whether a promotion is great or not, because you have to have confidence on where you're using the list from. But it gives you an idea of how we might tweak something for the next email.
Yes.
Maybe we're going to offer something different in value. Maybe we're going to change up that subject line, depending on our results. Analyzing what has happened helps us make every promotion we do better. Even if sometimes we have a failure, we will make changes in marketing that, we shouldn't have done that, but we learn from it. And I think it helps us make our marketing even more responsive.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, everyone should be doing video, whether you're doing an interview like this with us. It is great for people to sit down and look at real individuals talking about what works and what doesn't versus getting a paper that says, okay, this works, go do it.
Yeah, absolutely. You take that one piece of content and you can turn it into a variety of things. And whether that's that interview turns into a white paper or take snippets of that interview as a quick 30-second teaser video, or you may have an infographic from a survey that you have done. We'll turn that into a video as well. I just feel like our minds are constantly distracted. Our attention span is gotten that much smaller. And
Yeah.
so we want little snippets here and there. We don't want the long form of everything. So the
No.
short form of these videos, or even just a simple infographic, definitely works best in my mind in publishing.
It's across the board. When I first started this podcast, we would send the guests just the links to the full interview. And then we tested it out. Now, when you get this, you'll get the links, but you'll also get a few videograms because we saw a 12-time increase in the amount of people who viewed it. If they could first look at a 2-3 minute clip
Yes.
to hook them in to then watch the whole video.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah, is definitely, you have to have it all out there. Some people are different. I've got some very loyal listeners who just jump right in and listen to the whole thing, but short form definitely helps.
Yes,
Then
absolutely.
my last question for you, is there a key metric or indicator that you monitor to determine what you're going to do next?
There is not one key metric, quite honestly, because if you're only looking at one metric, then you're missing the whole story, the whole picture.
Yeah.
And engagement rates is something that we look at constantly. Open rates, click-through rates, time spent on content. That is just one portion of it. We're also looking at conversion rates when we send out lead gen campaigns. Okay, not only how did the email campaign perform, or it may be that pop-up ad or a social media post, but how many of them are converting and actually downloading to get that white paper or watching that video? So conversion rates is always top of mind. The
And that
audience
probably differs based on your publication, since your publications go across such a variety of different industries.
Yes, I know that our sports side and the sports industry is very engaged in those types of reports and videos. The agriculture side, they like those reports. We get a lot of downloads, a lot of conversions around those. So it's different. And on the retail side, like for gift shops and everything, they like to see the pictures. So they want to see what other stores are doing. It's so different from brand to brand or industry to industry.
Yes.
So finding those conversion metrics is going to be different for each industry. The audience growth, trying to increase your subscribers, which leads me into retention rates. We closely monitor that because we want people to resubscribe. We send their annual, your subscription is about to end. Please make sure you resubscribe. Or those that may not have engaged, and this is going back to the engagement metrics, if they haven't engaged over, trying to keep our current subscribers to resubscribe, but also build up our new subscribers is very important. Now, that's also going to be very different for each industry. In agriculture, if your research shows that farms are dwindling down, then your subscribers are going to be dwindling down.
Right.
So it just all depends on what's going on in your industry.
Both would agree, though, concentrate on, like you said, that engagement, the quality aspect of the people versus the number.
Exactly. It's quality over quantity.
Yes.
And the quality of those subscribers. Who are your highest engaged subscribers?
Yeah.
That's one of the tools that I really like about Omeda is you can do lead scoring. And you can score your subscribers and you can turn that into a good tool for advertisers to monetize it. So
you want to get a new advertiser and you show that the companies that are really engaging with the content are really interested. So that means they're looking at the publication regularly and will see their ads.
yes, exactly. And those are the things that we can guarantee because we're closely tracking that in real time. So
Excellent.
so that's one of the other metrics there is lead scoring. But we also, surveys, I think, is also a very important, it's not really a metric. It is a metric. I'm just going to say it is a metric because
Yeah.
you're trying to get feedback from your loyal subscribers and making sure that you're providing the content that they want,
Right.
where they want it.
It makes them
And
feel valued when you do that.
yes,
It
exactly.
shows that you care. You want to know how to help these subscribers.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Cheryl, I thank you so much. I really think you gave us some good tidbits that we can all work on, concentrating on that quality versus quantity, but really understanding those target audience of ours, understanding that know what they want, deliver it on the channels that they want, but then we constantly have to be reviewing it and changing things up.
Yes, exactly. I
Thank
agree.
you very
Thank you for
much.
having me. Yes,
Oh,
thank you
you
for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks for listening to the World Innovators B2B Marketing Excellence Podcast. If you'd like to be updated when new episodes come out, don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out our social media accounts to stay up to date on B2B marketing trends.